What does feeling alone have to do with it?
In this video, I'm covering feeling alone, the 4 kinds of aloneness, and action steps for healing this aspect of our experience. We are in a time of chronic aloneness, which also affects awakening and even people who have experienced near-death experiences. Feeling alone is a sense of isolation or separateness from others and even the world, sometimes feeling invisible and sometimes feeling so different you're not safe, or to reveal all of your experiences are not safe. And sometimes people even feel alone when they are with other people. The first kind of feeling alone I'm covering happens during the awakening process. People feel alone for the same reasons other people feel alone. The person is experiencing things they sense are not experienced by most, if not all, of the people they know, and they know they never discuss what they're experiencing. These experiences can include seeing what we call ghosts or other beings, having different dreams, insights, awarenesses, which may be auditory, internal, or visual. There is an understanding if there was a conversation, the person could be at risk for being called crazy, shamed, or alienated, or worse. Clarify, sensing multidimensionally can happen from the use of drugs or substances which destabilize the person, and this is destructive. The person does not have the tools or resources to differentiate and manage and stay balanced and grounded. There is also often with substances a strong attraction and addiction to continue, and there is a lack of awareness of the significance of the distortions and disruptions. In the awakening process, people go through feeling and being alone because they are reorganizing, reprioritizing, and recapitulating, which is an evolutionary process during development and growth. Reprioritizing and recapitulation are characterized by the person experiencing things that are out of the normal, that are mostly not discussed. These experiences can include significant heightened awareness, insightful dreams and awarenesses, which may be auditory, internal, and visual. And there is no one to share these experiences. There is awareness if there was a conversation with a person who did not understand. The person, again, could be at risk for being crazy and potentially evaluated for their mental health stability. But it's also important not to mistake going inward in the awakening process with depression, and I'll describe the difference in a moment. In recapitulation, there is reevaluation, integration, and processing occurring, and it's a time of going inward. What often is happening is the person may be noticing dreams, doing meditation, being in nature, and experiencing different kinds of heightened awareness that shifts perception of what's happening within them and the outer world. There is a letting go of things that are no longer important, which can include relationships and people who were once friends who no longer share a resonance. Sometimes interests and activities change from what once was important. The shift in values can result in feeling loss or of being alone, and feeling alone from others who do not share the same experience or world perspective, so there is no one to speak with or who understands or has gone through the same changes.
A sense of separation can also occur from a near-death experience.
The second kind of aloneness is being on earth, often experienced early in life while being in a family. The sense of aloneness is a feeling of separateness and difference from other people and even the culture and the way people do things and how they think. Often this can include feeling separate from our family and or other activities because we just don't understand them or why they enjoy these things. They seem odd. We learn not to share our awareness from these experiences or what we know or see, and can even have a memory of other experiences from other times. So this can relate to feeling like you've been here before, or also children may have this experience where they learn not to share things they see because they understand in some way their adult family members will not be able to explain or comprehend. And there's an implicit knowing the information is challenging and can cause disruption and even could cause problems. And in some people, there's a longing to return to their real home. The experience of feeling out of place on earth is different from feeling alone because there is abuse and there is no one to protect the person. So that is a different kind of aloneness. The third kind of feeling alone from loss, when we have lost someone to death. Often in our culture, we do not have methods of processing when someone, which can be human or animal friend, has died. We do not have permission, methods, or tools for dealing with the loss or to discuss the impact of the loss. And often people advise that you'll get over it in time, and this just doesn't happen. In addition, we do not see our lives over a period of time. So we can go through a series of experiences that impact us profoundly and not realize there is a relationship to loss and the cycles of going inward and redefining ourselves while we are lonely. These changes through the loss of relationships change us significantly, and during the process, we can feel aloneness and separation. Often, significant losses can be not only from someone passing or dying, but can be from a loss of a job and other things. The fourth kind of aloneness is caused from isolation, being burdened with someone's care, and depression. This kind of aloneness can also be from trauma and not feeling safe to heal or to reach out, which can lead to thinking no one else has this experience. There is shame or pride or being burdened with an experience is a responsibility and secret that cannot be changed. Part of the experience of trauma and depression causes the isolation and separation to occur. Shame, blame, and guilt are part of depression and contribute to this sense of aloneness that comes along with a negative internal dialogue. This kind of aloneness restricts people from feeling comfortable about being with others and about reaching out towards other people. We don't have to share or be alike others we have connection with when we have in-person contact. We don't have to or need to share all or any of our political perspectives, religion, or heightened awareness experience with others to have a meaningful exchange. We can connect with other people through sharing a culture's food or through volunteering or through the animals that we can connect with and discuss the weather. We can connect with other people because they have family relationships. Whether the person is going through an awakening, the loss of a relationship, feels alone from their childhood, since their childhood, or has isolation from depression, people often feel the need to fill the space of separation and aloneness with something. Sometimes this something is a strong need to fill the void and keep moving to avoid the feelings, and or because we're not comfortable with the stillness. Western culture doesn't have many models or ways for people to accept others who are going through stillness. And here's a story that demonstrates the experience of stillness. When a sailboat has its sails full of wind, it is moving gently and swiftly towards a destination and direction. The boat is directed towards its purpose of getting to the destination, and the people on board are involved in keeping the boat attuned to the sails being full of the wind so they can capture the wind's movement and keep going. The boat's focus of purpose is like people. We like to be full of direction and involved with keeping the momentum going. We're not as comfortable with stillness. When there is no wind, the boat is still. The boat is on the calm water, but there appears to be no destination or purpose. There's no movement from the wind, the waters are calm, and the boat sits in nearly the same place. There's no wind to capture, so there is no outward activity to attend to. But there is a need to be prepared for when the wind returns, so the stillness is an essential place to prepare by recognizing the advantage of this stillness and using the time for restoration, knowing the time will come when the wind blows again with new purpose. We are like that sailboat. We are accustomed to direction, momentum, movement, and a destination. When there is stillness, we are often uncomfortable, and the stillness may occur for us so that we can process things that are challenging. The stillness is a time to prepare by going inward like a chrysalis. The stillness is our time to listen as we prepare for the transformation that is occurring and the next stage. These are normal cycles. Being in the time of aloneness for the person who's going through the awakening process is part of the process. Being alone when someone has passed can help us cherish the connections we have to the person as we carry them with us always. And in the aloneness and stillness, we can be vulnerable and share this time that we have, and it does not disturb it or disrupt it. To deal with the experiences of feeling alone, reach out of your comfort zone and connect with others through any kind of sharing, including volunteering with animals or people, creatures, or the earth. This has a level of vulnerability with it. Sometimes people share online if they are not able to get out of their homes, and giving to others helps us even when we are in an inward cycle. These contributions do not have to be some huge activity, but can be feeding the birds, checking on a neighbor, taking care of plants, offering kindness and compassion to others. If there is an experience of being triggered by someone, decide what you can learn about yourself. If you do not feel alone, consider there are people around you who do. A word and act of kindness goes far. Continue to practice inner connecting through effective meditation because the benefits include stabilizing our body, our physical body, our thoughts, our mind, and our emotions, and our spirit and etheric body, and brings us into deeper connection. Use the kind of meditation that you like, which can be walking or something that takes you into nature. Whatever it is, it changes your respiration, brain waves, and heart rate. Look for people to share your experiences with and develop and trust your intuition to know. Expecting others who do not understand to understand can burden relationships or cause alienation. No one is better than another. We are all on different paths. Being in the awakening process does not make anyone better than another. If a person feels disdain about others because they are not on the awakening path, that is their ego's need to stay in control and feel important. Being around other people is part of the work of being on earth. Do not be deceived by the ego that wants you to feel special or better than others because you are doing something you perceive others are not. That is awakening. And when this occurs, the negative aspect of the ego is manipulating, and there is work to be done with compassion, gratitude, and forgiveness. Depression and aloneness are healed in very much the same fundamental ways. Consider participating in a group that does something you have an interest or that needs your support. The group can be online or in person. It is about the movement of the doing it and following through and doing it. The movement shifts the energy and starts a new path. You may notice you feel more alone at different times of the year. Noticing these relationships to the seasons or an anniversary or the weather helps us manage differently and better. Ask yourself what you can do to prepare for those times of year ahead of time and make a plan to implement it in advance and implement it. In ancient times and now in contemporary times, there is a research that substantiates listening to specific music changes our consciousness and the sense of feeling alone. This specific kind of music shifts our brainwaves, respiration, and heart rate, the same as meditation, and can be uplifting and also connecting. Besides the research that supports the amazing effects of music that is being integrated into our culture as a tool for different kinds of healing, research also shows singing changes our breathing patterns, which is a significant method that changes our perspective. That is, by breathing with music changes how we feel and can be uplifting. Use your favorite songs and sing with them. More information about how to use music and the kinds of music in other videos on the Transformational Wisdom YouTube channel. Make a connection to your spirituality and practices that develop compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude. The practices of developing compassion, forgiveness, and gratitude are methods of connection because humans are social beings, and these areas are about expansion with ourselves and with our relationship with others, whether they are still on the planet or not.
Thanks for listening from Transformational Wisdom. Please subscribe and like. To stay connected, go to twi.education for more information.